Hey, Mysticos class. I am sorry I couldn't be with you today. I scheduled an appointment for my teeth many months ago before I knew that Fridays were going to go back to full days, and I simply could not cancel this with my dentist. I have a few teeth issues going on, and I need to meet with my dentist today so she can get everything in good standing. So, unfortunately, for our first Friday art class, we are going to follow along and work together with this video. I hope it finds you well. I hope you're having a good Friday and your first full day Friday in a long while. It's going splendidly. Weather's been beautiful, hasn't it? I miss you, and I promise I'll be back next Friday. But today, I didn't want to give you an assignment that didn't relate to what we're doing, so please get out your creature eye. Last week, when we met together, we talked about something called line variation. And I hope you remember line variation is just a big fancy schmancy art word that means making our lines interesting in that they're thick in some places and thin in the other. It's a little artist trick artists use all the time. And today, what we're going to do is we are going to amplify and make those varied lines even more beautiful using color. So follow me and let's go into our PowerPoint. If you click on classwork and our assignment, and I want to take a moment where we all look together at the next step when it comes to color. Now, I am going to be a stickler when it comes to coloring this project. You can't just go to your crayons and pick out any color that your heart desires. I want you to be more strategic about it. Do you know what strategic means? Strategic means you come up with a plan before you start something, a strategy. And I want you to consider this as you come up with your coloring plan. These are examples of analogous colors. And artists use analogous colors to create really beautiful, stunning results in their artwork, kind of like this one. This is my finished dragon eye. I'm pretty proud of it. But the way that we artists find what works is we go to that really special tool called the color wheel. And if you've been paying attention in art class, you probably know the color wheel is up by the chalkboard over to the right. I actually stole the Greenfield color wheel and I have it here. Let me grab it. There we go. And what it means is an artist consults the color wheel. We use the color wheel. We usually keep one up in our studio whenever we're making color decisions. And a lot of times artists like to use colors that blend together well to create an effect that looks like this. So you can see I've got purples blending into blues, and I even got light turquoise blues blending into dark blues. And the way that we know what blends well is we go to the color wheel and we find colors that are its neighbors. So let's say I wanted to give my creature a greenish kind of skin. If I wanted to work with green, I could either go this way and find lime green and yellows are one of the neighbors, or I could go down this way and find that turquoise and blue is a nice neighbor with green. That means when I get out my green crayon and my blue crayon and I make them touch as I color, a little bit of green here, a little bit of blue here, they are going to unite and they're going to merge and mix in a way that's really beautiful. It makes our eyes feel good and our brains to feel good to see those colors merging. If you blend two colors that aren't neighbors, not always, but sometimes, if you blend green with something across the color wheel like red, what ends up happening is you get a muddy kind of color, a brownish color. And browns are beautiful. I love browns. But when you're trying to create colors that are part of the rainbow spectrum, reds, oranges, yellows, greens, blues, indigos, and violets, you want to make sure you're using a color that's next to its neighbor to blend with. So red could blend into orange, which could blend into yellow. Sometimes artists blend three colors. But you don't want to jump across the color wheel and pick an opposite. Yellow blended with purple is going to give you a brown. Blue blended with orange is also going to give you a murky kind of brown. And for this project, we want our colors to be intense and bright like the rainbow spectrum. So what you're going to do is after you practice a bit on the back of your artwork with a few blends, you're going to consult a color wheel. You can either use this color wheel that I've provided for you. This one's called the Chromatic Circle. I think I must have got that from a British website because in Britain, the color wheel is called the Chromatic Circle. Or you can look up your own color wheel and find one that you're comfortable with. But the colors are always going to follow the same order, so you can't go wrong. And you're going to start applying color. You don't have to use the same colors you see in this example. This example is just to show you how you can start in the middle and work outwards towards the edge of your composition until eventually you have a finished work like this. So I hope that this quick little lesson on analogous colors finds you well. And I would like you to work on this to see if you can get it finished today. Coloring should go pretty quickly. After you watch this video, you can put on a podcast or some music and have a nice little chance to just be with yourself and work on your project, which is always a nice way to spend your Friday. Next Friday, we will meet again and we're going to start something new. But at the beginning of class, I would really, really love if you all met me with showing me your finished designs. I'd love to see how it goes for you today. Once again, I'll close with my sincere apologies that I cannot be with you today, but I must look after these teeth. All right, so I will see you guys next Friday. Happy art making. Bye, Shrinkinators.